Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to our review and demo of the EX PT-21 guitar tuner pedal. This was sent to me courtesy of EachBuyer. And so we're going to tell you what the scoop is on this little guy. Well, it's an all metal casing, so it's pretty heavy duty, it's rugged. It's going to take a lot of beating over the years. It's got a heavy duty stomper switch on it that you can beat on pretty good and you're not going to hurt it. It does flat tuning, which we're going to show you how that works. There's a button on there that says flat. You push it, little LED will light up. We'll get to that. Does not run on batteries. It has to have a power supply, so you will need to order yourself a power supply for it. You'll also have to order either a 6-pack of the cheap cables for loop cables, never hurts to have too many, or get a single heavy-duty high-quality cable, your choice. Everybody has their preference on their quality types for cable. Anyways, I got my Fender Strat out here, and I'm just going to go through a few things with you. Now this thing has what's called pure pass or true bypass. So what that is going to mean in the case of this pedal with that sort of technology, when the pedal's turned off, you can play. Okay? When you turn the pedal on to do tuning, it cuts out your audio completely. You're totally disconnected. Okay, so this is great in any kind of a gig situation, whether you're playing professionally, intermediate gigging, whatever you're doing, you know, and you don't want people to know that you're retuning. It puts you into dead silence, which is great. It also assists you too that you can unplug your guitar and switch to a different guitar while the tuner's turned on, and you're not going to get that nasty noise that you normally would, right? And then you just plug right back into your replacement guitar or whatever you're going to use, and away you go. Now as far as tuning goes, 6E, now it says I'm running a little sharp here, so I got to back that off a little bit. Now I'm flat. Now I'm on. And compare against my 12th fret, we're bang on. So your next string, of course, is going to be your A string, so 5A, 4D, 3G. Now I'm going to stop at the G here for a second. That does not look like a G, does it? That kind of got me a little like, huh? You know, at first myself, and I know a couple of you are thinking that way. It's like, what's up? There's a little LED missing. That doesn't look like a G. It looks sort of like a C in a way. Actually, it does look like a G somewhat. When you go down to your second string, B, that LED that was missing off the G is now lit. So there's nothing wrong with the pedal. And your first E. So that G is supposed to be that way. I've actually checked this against a few other pedals that I've seen similar to this, and the G looks the same on all of them, so it's supposed to be that way. So don't worry, you didn't get a bad unit. It's fine, nothing wrong with it. Now, the first thing that really super impressed me about this pedal, like the very first thing, was when I hooked it up and I tuned up my guitar with it, and then I checked my intonation and it was still bang on. Now I set my intonation up with an older Korg chromatic tuner, and I've done that with all my electric guitars. They all been set up with the same tuner, and I've checked this pedal too against my other guitars, and they're all still spot on. I did not have to alter any of my intonation settings on any of my guitars. That really super impressed me. Also, it impressed me the fact that you get this silent mode when you want to tune. That's awesome. I really like that, you know. And then of course, the LED display is very nice. It's not overbearingly bright, super bright red. You know, it's a nice, calm, you know, mid-level red. And it can be seen in even the darkest of areas, you know. So if you're gigging and you're in darkness, a lot of tuners are not going to light up for you, you know, but this does, right? And I know there are high-end tuners out there called rack tuners, and we're not even talking about those. We're talking about this sort of a tuner situation. So this is what we're talking about. But this thing lights up in the darker areas, you know, even the brighter areas. It can get pretty bright in this room too, and I still have no problem even seeing the display. So that's great. The green light, it's a pretty bright light, but it's not overbearing, you know. And then of course your flat and your sharps, they're in red, you know. The flat button is for your flat tuning. Now a little LED you'll see is now lit, like a little dot. That's indicating we're in flat tuning mode, right? So all we gotta do is detune to the flat tune. Bing, oh, almost had her there. There we go. So now we're in flat, and away we go. We just continue on, and then we're flat. If you want to go back to standard tuning, push the button again, the little LED goes out, you're back in standard mode. Turn it off. So, we're all back to normal, all retuned, rock and roll. Very easy tuner to use, guys. Very easy, very convenient. Nice LED display on it. It's going to last for a long time. You know, runs its own separate power source. It only chews up 20 milliamps too, so power consumption wise is next to nothing, you know, which is great because that's where you get one of those power supplies that have like about 1,000 milliamps in them. Get one of those 5-way cable adapters and hook 5 pedals up to it, and you still got lots of juice left over, you know, to feed even more pedals if you want to go off another loop. You know, you can do it a lot of different ways. Yeah, so definitely a great pedal, well built, works just beautiful. You know, like I said, I didn't have to re-intonate any of my guitars. Now that doesn't mean you might not have to re-intonate 1 or 2 of your strings, depending on what tuner was used to set up your intonation with, but the one I used, my Korg, is spot on with this one, and that doesn't happen too often, so that was a very big, huge bonus there. Because I wasn't looking forward to having to sit down and re-intonate all my guitars again. So I was like, awesome. Value wise, you're talking like a $35 pedal US, 44 Canadian. You know, that's a good price. It's a really good price for the tuner. It's a heck of a good tuner, and it does everything it's supposed to do, you know, and it's going to be durable, and it's so convenient. Like, I am so happy to be able to just come up to here, click on this, you know, tune my guitar up, you know, unclick it, get down to business, you know, boom. If somehow I knock my guitar out of tune, doing a lot of string bending, you know, boom, I can retune that string or any strings I need in dead silence real fast and easy, boom, away I go, right? So much more convenient than unplugging and, you know, doing all that other jazz with other tuners. This thing is sweet. You know, so you're going to really like it. So I definitely highly recommend this pedal for sure. You know, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, even a pro guy, this pedal is for all of us. It's a great pedal, you know. I can't really say anything really bad about it. You know, it does what it's supposed to do. It's built good, works properly. You know, it's not perfect though. You know, that's the thing, it's not perfect. And it can't run on batteries, so there is no battery backup source whatsoever. It is totally dependent on a power supply, but hey, I have yet to see a mini stomper yet that can handle a battery in it. You know, it just doesn't happen. Not when they're this small. But yeah, definitely great. Great bargain, everything. It's a good machine. My final rating on this thing is going to be a 4 out of 5. Now, I'm not dinging it a whole point or a whole star because it's not perfect. You know, it also does have that side effect that, hey, you do have to put out, you know, $35 or $44 or whatever your currency is that the price will dictate, you're still going to have to put out on a power supply, which I've always said on any of my other reviews on these stomper pedals, especially the stompers, like this, these mini ones, the manufacturer should be supplying a power supply. You know, even if you're not going to use it, it makes a great emergency backup if your rack power supply ever goes down, you know, if you're not going to use it. But at least if you know, this is your second pedal or third pedal, well, there's no sense having a 10-port hub, is there? You know, you need a power supply. You know, but you can buy power supplies that, you know, are single, or you can buy one that's got a 5-way jack, can support up to 5, you know, different pedals. That's fine. But I still think that the manufacturer needs, at least in mini stompers, all of those manufacturers need to supply at least, you know, a small power supply, enough to even just power the pedal would be great, you know, and then maybe charge us an extra $2 or $3, you know, and that would be perfect. So that's where the rest of that one kind of star rating goes, you know, and I can't give anything like massive marks, like, you know, because it's just not realistic. We got to stay real here. But I think 4 out of 5 is more than adequate for this thing. So let me know what you guys think. Links to buy it, EachBuyer's link will be in the description of the video, as well as a link directly to this particular pedal, and you can search their website for other effects pedals they have and other musical accessories they have. They've got a fair amount there, you know, and check it out and see. And hey, free shipping too, by the way, so bonus. And I'm in Canada, and it only took a little over 2 weeks to get here, so it wasn't too bad. It was pretty decent for shipping. It's pretty impressive. And this came out of China, so that's definitely impressive for shipping time, because usually it's about 3 weeks or a little bit more, and I got mine in just over 2 weeks, so that was cool. So anyways, that's it, that's all. And hey, you got questions, you got comments, you know the drill, and I'll do the best I can to answer them for you. Thanks for watching.